Take a steady posture, a relaxed one. Pay attention to the breath. Eyes are gently closed. Inhale. 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 Asato ma satgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritangamaya om shanti shanti shanti. Slowly and gently you may open the eyes. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Ramana Maharshi in the Upadēśa Sāram, in the verses that we have been discussing, is putting a lot of focus into handling of one's mind. Everyone knows the need and the importance of handling one's mind. However, years have passed, time has passed, yet one thing one hasn't mastered is mastery over one's own mind. Everything else is gained. It's as if only this one last part is remaining in life. There was once a Maharaja walking on the streets of Rishikesh, and all the people who were there on the streets, when they noticed this Maharaja along with his retinue, they all greeted him, Namaste Maharaj, Namaste Maharaj. Everybody kept doing namaskarams to him. The Maharaja was walking and he saw that the same subjects, same people who offered namaskarams to him were also offering namaskar to another person. Who was this person? A sannyasi who is humbly dressed, who is sitting below a tree. So this sannyasi is sitting there, and many people who are walking are saying Namaste Maharaj to him also, to that sannyasi. This king got a doubt. Okay, I am the king, so the people are offering pranams to me and calling me Maharaj. Rightly so, there's all the reason for them to do that. Why are they calling this sannyasi who is sitting under a tree Maharaj? What is this? What does he have? He just has some books and a begging bowl and kamandalu and danda. You know, they used to carry a stick, danda. That's all he has. What is this they are calling him Maharaj? These days, danda and all, nuisance to carry around. How can I carry danda in the flight and all? So what I do, I carry a selfie stick. So wherever there is a requirement for doing a video and sending it, put the selfie stick. That's the modern day danda. So everyone is doing namaskar saying Maharaj, Maharaj. So king got curious. I am the king, yes, I should be called Maharaja. Why are they calling him? So he goes to this sannyasi and asks that sannyasi, hey, I am Maharaja and they're calling me Maharaj because I have this entire kingdom. What are you? Who are you? Why are they calling you Maharaj? So the sannyasi asks him, why do they call you Maharaj? Because I have conquered so many kingdoms. That's why I am the king. I am the Maharaja. So the sannyasi asks the Maharaja, have you conquered the inner kingdom? The king says, no. The sannyasi says, I have not conquered any the external kingdoms, but I have mastery over my inner kingdom. That's why they call me Maharaj. So, this mastering, conquering one's own inner kingdom is the most essential thing. Otherwise, we may have externally placed everything is right in the outer world, or you are trying to put everything in order, but when it comes to your mind, your thoughts, the way you think, the way you feel, none of it is handled. None of it is handled. Probably it happens because, see, from childhood, we are trained to keep things in order, those things only what others can see. Others can see your house. So the attitude is keep it in order. Others can see your life, external life, lifestyle, keep it in order. Mind, nobody can see, isn't it so? So nobody pays attention to something that others do not see. So the living room, dining, everything is spick and span and nicely organized. Basement may not be, because not everybody sees that. Not everybody has an access to that. So mind becomes something which is just ignored. Adhyatma, spirituality, is focusing one's attention, time and efforts in keeping this inner instrument clean and in place. Otherwise, mind, whatever stage of life you could be, externally everything is fine, but internally you are the same disappointed, dissatisfied person everywhere. And also, another thing what has happened is, we never think from first person's standpoint, from your standpoint. We never think in that way. Never think in this way. Always the focus is on family, friends, or society at large. You're only thinking from others' standpoint. What will others think? What will others feel? Okay, this may be so. Can a person in a corporate company can practice karma yoga? Why are you thinking from hypothetical, some imaginary scenario? Think about it from your standpoint. How does this knowledge apply to me? How can I use this insight? Does it work for me? Does it work for me? That's the way one has to think. Otherwise, you'll simply create a distance between you and Vedanta, a safe distance. I am somebody immune, I'm wearing all my shields, I'm never going to let my guard down, but I'm going to appreciate it as a very nice knowledge, our heritage. We have to preserve it, we have to save it, we have to take care of it. Our Sanatana Dharma, our Vedanta, our Shastra. We have to preserve it. Fine. Preserve for what? Keep on preserving, and then for whom? Probably the next generation will never open that pickle dabba that you have been preserving. So, from first person standpoint, how can I relate to this? How can I change? How can I transform? How can I grow in this knowledge? That should be the focus. That's why one of the most important aspects in Vedanta is preparing one's mind to receive this knowledge. In fact, the insight is very simple and profound. Because the mind is complicated, you are unable to appreciate the vision. So one has to clean up the mind. One has to master this instrument. One has to have a hold over one's ways of thinking. Otherwise, you'll just be everywhere and not even experiencing the present moment. You're carrying the past everywhere. You are carrying your likes and dislikes everywhere. It's a fresh, recent example I've been quoting everywhere. Just before I left to come to the US, one of our devotees went on a Europe trip. So he came to ashram after the trip to talk to Swamiji, seek the blessings, etc. So I asked him, how was your trip? He said, Swamiji, wonderful, very well organized. We had a great time in Europe. Swamiji, the idlis were so hot in the morning. Afternoon, we used to have nice roti, curry, paneer butter masala, this and that. Evening also, nice dinner. Very nice. So he explained the menu for all 8 days. 10 minutes he took to explain the Indian menu, which was there in this package trip or whatever you call, organized tour, for all 8 days. So now I was thinking, if your focus was to eat Indian food, you could have well been in Bangalore. So the vasana, the impression of wanting Indian food was not left. Any other continent is changed, but yet the mind is not in the continent, is not in the context. The mind is there on naan, paneer butter masala, idli. That's what happens in life. If you don't handle this inner instrument, you may be growing, you may be progressing in your careers, you may have a lot of things around you, all that you want, money, homes, cars, nothing wrong. You may have all of it, yet you're the same old person who is subject to same old impressions of past, as if controlled by impressions and vasana. These subtle impressions, we call it vasana. Impression. Imprints in mind. It's as if a groove is created in the mind. This is the groove. These impressions are the grooves, and the thoughts move only in these grooves. They don't have ability to traverse in any other new path. It's only in these grooves. So there's a big need to handle one's impressions. So through dhyana, through upasana, these impressions become diluted. The grooves which were created for over a period of time, not 1 year, 2 years, it took 20, 30, 40 years of your life, you have created these grooves, and the thinking and the mind goes only in these grooves. And this has to be changed now. This has to be changed. The sadhanas are being prescribed from the first verse onwards in order to dilute these impressions, in order to let go of these impressions. And one fine day, you can erase, put an end to all impressions. That's what Ramana Maharshi is saying. We will look into the verse that we discussed yesterday. little more in detail. Lot of you had few doubts on it. Repeat after me. Laya vinashane. 13th verse. Laya vinashane. Ubhayarodhane. Layagatam punar bhavati no mritam. So, Maharshi is giving us two ways of handling one's mind, one's impressions, deep-trenched impressions. In fact, the words that he uses in these verses are very unique to Ramana Maharshi. You don't usually find it in other texts. That's why for some people it may seem like a new concept. No, it is very much there in Bhagavad Gita. We will discuss it. But Ramana Maharshi uses his own unique language, unique expressions. So Maharshi says, Laya vinashane ubhayarodhane. He says, ubhayarodhane sati, by having a command of ubhaya means two, rodhana is command, by mastering. These two things, what are the two things? Ubhaya, two are breath and mind. We discussed that in the previous verse yesterday. Having a mastery, control over these two things happen. Two things happen. What is that? By the strength of pranayama, one can achieve manolaya. Meaning, a temporary sublation of one's mind through the Ashtanga Yoga sadhana. Yama, niyama, meaning following certain rules in life. You structure those rules. This is not, Sanatana Dharma is not a religion where some commandments are handed over to you, this alone. No. You customize it. Live a life of least disturbance. Do not hurt yourself and do not hurt others outside. And you structure your life in this way. So following those yama, niyama, asana meaning some yoga asana, the way you sit, way you stand, way you walk, physical aspects of the body. Pranayama, paying attention to the breath, mastering and controlling one's breath, one can control mind. We saw that yesterday. How? So Maharshi says, manolaya bhavati. By the strength of pranayama, one can achieve manolaya. Meaning, temporary dissolution of mind. Temporary sublation of impressions of mind. So the word that you can supplement to mind is impressions. Then this verse will make better sense and better way of absorbing and understanding in your context. So wherever the word mind you get, impressions. Replace it with impressions. So you sublate the mind temporarily. Laya, manolaya. And we discussed, this is not only the means, many people take to many other means for temporarily sublating the mind. So they choose a sattvic means which doesn't have any side effects. Pranayama doesn't have any side effects. Simple, normal pranayama, suppose you practice. There's no side effect to it. Then a person can be playing harmonium or veena or listening to music and achieve a state of sublation of one's impressions momentarily for a period of time. Are there any side effects to it? No. But suppose you want to achieve laya by putting AirPods and want to listen to the rock music on highest volume, no doubt that music also will give you manolaya for that period of time. Definitely there's going to be consequences to it, side effect to it. Keep on listening, keep on doing that over a period of time, then your hearing itself gets affected. Hearing itself gets affected. That's what happens. So choose a means which doesn't have any side effects. Any side effects. Keep on eating nice food for some time, you can have manolaya. They say, what is that? Food coma. But then, after that point, there's going to be side effects to such means. So choose a means which doesn't have any particular side effects. And the other thing Maharshi discusses in this verse is, laya is temporary sublation and vinasha. Vinasha means dissolution. Vinasha means sublation, permanent sublation. Vinasha may also mean death or destruction. So what is this destroying the mind? If you literally take the meaning. Or sublating the mind totally. Stay with that word. Destruction is a very harmful word. Vedanta is such a beautiful, simple sadhana, not some hatha yoga type of thing, Make the body bend at any cost. No. Very subtle sadhana, very simple, beautiful sadhana. So here, sublation means destruction or sublation, or putting a permanent end, is to lose all impressions. To do away with all the conscious and underlying unconscious impressions. No impressions. Thus you are at the present moment. You are not approaching the present moment with the impressions of the past. Fresh day, fresh moment, no impressions. If I were to approach the present day, present moment with all the past impressions, I think I would have been the most bored person in the world. Why? Because this is not, chronologically speaking, count-wise speaking, this is not the first time I am handling this text. This text has been taught so many times. So I would not consider this discussion of 13th verse of Upadēśa Sāram as the 11th time that I am doing it. No. It's fresh, first. It's in the moment. Not looking at this moment from the impressions of the past. I don't even know how many times it was taught. So no past impressions. Just approaching the present moment without any impressions of the past, without any vasanas of the past. Now, does it seem like an utopian concept to you? No, it's a possibility. One can live in such a way. One can have that life. How is that a possibility? How is that vinasha a possibility? We'll discuss further. In this verse, Maharshi now says, Layagatam manaha punaha bhavati. What is the verse? Layagatam punar bhavati nomratham. So we'll take the first part. Layagatam punaha bhavati. That mind, which is sublated because of laya, meaning it is sublated temporarily due to the strength of pranayama or any other sadhanas, punaha bhavati, that mind can come back again, will come back again. So you would have seen many people, or it could be there in your own experience in your homes. While meditating, you are very peaceful. Come out of meditation, you are again disturbed and you cause disturbance to others also. So I told you, sometimes youngsters complain to me, Swamiji, my mom and my dad are coming to your classes, but they shout at us at the home all the time. They're all that my dad is always angry. He's been coming to your class and put Swamiji in such bad light. You better change yourself. So, it's like, somebody is going to doctor and this doctor's medicine is just not curing. Because you are not taking the medicine. You're just going to the doctor, that's all. So, mind which is temporarily sublated during the practice can again come back once that practice is over. Or temporarily there is the dissolution of impressions and mind. It again comes out. Again comes out. All of it. So this we can see in the religious lives of so many people. So they have taken a vow to go visit a particular temple. So that day is the morning darshan. Whatever puja, abhishekam, etc. is given. So from morning they are all in that whole very pious mind. So they got up, they took bath, and then they wore all the religious clothes and all the marks is in place. Somebody wears vibhuti, somebody wears a dot, somebody wears a tilakam, whatever. Everybody has done all of it. And then they go to the temple, darshan, very pious, all the prayers and everything. So darshan is over, arati is over, prasadam is got. Fine, that's it, over. Now, the next thought which comes is, where do I eat which is the good restaurant? Which is the good restaurant? No. Mind which is not handled again comes back with all its force. With all its force. That's what happens. In India, there's a big trend of going to these nature cure centers. So I think diet centers, I don't know what they call it. So people go there. So it's like a boot camp for people who want to lose weight. So they go there, 10 days, they are in a strict diet regimen. Sometimes somebody went, some of our students went, and they don't put salt also in that. Whole 3 meals. They have lemon juice kept on the table. So salad, this, that, so many, whatever fresh veggies, everything is prepared. No rice, no chapati, nothing. And you can put lemon juice on it and eat. Obviously, they'll lose weight. So first day, the weight is done. Without salt, how much can you eat? So they have whatever massages, this, that, etc. 7 days, 8 days they spend there. And they weigh. Last day also they weigh. Then they have lost 3 kilos, 4 kilos. Wow, what this thing, amazing. The person comes back home. First thing asks, what's for lunch? What's for lunch? So, temporary handling is okay. We find those diet camps are required. All of it, they may have some positive effect on the body temporarily, but they are not the permanent solution. Layagatam manaha punaha bhavati. That mind which is gone, which was sublated, those impressions which were sublated for a period of time because of some effort, some conscious effort, all of it again comes back when the impressions are not handled in a deeper way. What is that handling? Shri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, 59th verse, beautifully says this. You may repeat after me. Vishayaha vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. So, a person who has restrained the senses. So, such a person who has restrained the sense organs, all the sense objects are not there for such person. It's as if they are all not there. Why? Because this person has a control over the sense organs temporarily. For example, many people fast on Ekadashi. So they have taken a vow that I'm going to fast on the lunar calendar day of Ekadashi. And so many things may be around, but yet they're not going to go for it. Their hand is not going to go for it. The mouth is not going to go for it. Why? Because they're very clear. They've taken a vow, they have made a vow that I'm not going to eat any food today. I'm going to fast. So, for such a person who has restrained the mind temporarily, it's as if Vishayaha Vinivartante, all the objects of senses are not there or they are restrained. They're restrained. But then after Ekadashi is the next day of Dvadashi. And they eat a big lunch on that day. Why? Because that restraint, what you had brought up, what you had brought into your life is no more there, because it's the day where you're not supposed to fast or you're not fasting. So, all the sense objects are again back on such a person, to such a person. Although there was a temporary handling of sense objects, one had separated oneself from all of it, it is not permanently gone. Krishna says, Rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. So how do I handle all these impressions which I don't want to keep on putting them back? I want to permanently handle all those impressions. How do I do it? Krishna says, param drishtva nivartate. Having understood the reality, having seen the reality, all the interest, all our investment into Vishayas will be handled at once. At once. How can the perception of reality, how can understanding of one's own reality and reality of the world solve this fundamental problem? Solve this fundamental problem. These impressions, how can they do that? We may ask a question. How is it a possibility? It is a possibility because there is so much investment into objects. There's so much investment into the world. And so many impressions, the grooves are created in the mind to keep on wanting one thing after another, going for one thing after another. All of them are there because fundamentally I do not know the reality of myself. I consider myself to be a limited human being, a limited person. Having understood my true nature as limitless, I don't have the dependency of other things or things of the world for my happiness or my fulfillment. There's no such groove in the mind which keeps on wanting one thing after another. No, you become very objective. In order to live a normal life, you need some things, you will naturally get them. You don't have to have a groove in the mind in order to keep on wanting one thing after another, one experience after another. Param drishtva nivartate. Param drishtva nivartate. In fact, this understanding, this vairagya, that I don't need too many things. Life doesn't exactly have to work out the way I want it. It's okay. In spite of it, life can still go on. I can still live a meaningful life. That is there in so many people, they get it. Shastra says, here and there a person gets that insight. There's a death in the family. For a few hours, everybody is a vairagi. Everybody is a vairagi. We understand, oh, is it all when we encounter death? We understand, oh, is it all that there is to life? One works hard, keeps on running, never has time for oneself, never has time for anything, just keep on running. That's all is the end of life. Half an hour, 40 minutes. Yes, the funeral service is all done. In Indian context, they again meet for 13th day or 14th, whatever is one's tradition. And on that day, everybody is eating and discussing politics, who won, what policies will come, what can we expect for H1B visa. Person is forgotten, death is forgotten, lessons are forgotten. We're back. We are back. Everybody has this vairagya, temporarily. Everybody has that. So in Indian context, especially in North India, if they have to carry a dead person from home towards the funeral ground, they'll keep on chanting Ram Naam Satya Hai. Ram Naam Satya Hai. Meaning what? The name of God or God alone is real. Everything else is unreal. That's implied meaning of that whole verse. Ram Naam Satya Hai means what? Then what else is all other things? Jhoota hai. Jhoot hai. So that's the implication. But that's the lesson learned only for one day. Lesson learned only for one day. So it's like when there is sickness in the body, you don't have any taste for anything, any soup, any curry, any dish that is served to you. Mother brings something and you will say, no, not interested. Spouse brings something. Do you want apple juice? No, I don't want. Can I get you some warm milk? No, I don't want. Anything. Once disease is gone, you want all of it at once. So Maharshi is suggesting a permanent solution, permanent handling of all impressions, because all our activities in the external world are manifestations of these impressions. There's an impression sitting behind. And you act based on that impression, and that takes you to places, sometimes good, sometimes worst. Those impressions make you restless. You waste so much of energy, resources in handling that restlessness. It always pushes you to keep on doing one thing after another, never giving you a moment of rest. Maharshi is suggesting a permanent solution, just as what Sri Krishna has told in 2nd chapter 59th verse. The same thing Maharshi is telling in this 13th verse of Upadēśa Sāram. Param drishtva nivartate. So have the sight of the reality, then the whole world is falsified and it cannot have any effect on you anymore. It cannot have any effect on you anymore. Now, see this. It's very, very real, not some conceptual thing. How reality changes our entire perception, our impressions, our reactions, interaction with the world, all of it. There was a relative. Suppose there is a relative. There is a cousin or brother or whatsoever. Now, this person is connected to this body or you, very much connected. So this person has the ability to give you joy and also unhappiness. Can cause pain in you and cause pleasure as well. You thought this person is a wonderful person, a cousin, a relative, brother, whatsoever. That's how it is. This relationship sometimes brings fun, sometimes brings happiness, sometimes brings pain. All of it has been there. And then one fine day, you get to know that your brother has been cheating you all the while. All these years where you have spent happy moments, sad moments, wonderful moments, all of it with this brother. This brother has been cheating me in the family business or the joint business all the way. One fine day, you see that reality. One fine day, you see that reality. Having seen that reality, having accepted that, can that person cause pain, pleasure, happy moment, sad moment, joyful moment any more in your life? Can he? Cannot. Because you have seen the reality of this relationship. This was never based on faith, trust, nothing. It was just there, but you have seen the reality of it now. So it cannot do anything to you. You become, this relationship is as if dead. This person is as if dead in your life. So many people have those experiences, isn't it so? Especially in the Desi context. Why? Because there's an inheritance of wealth. So somebody said, Swamiji, our family is very happy. We have no conflicts. Nothing in the family. Why? I asked, how come? It's a rare case. Because he said, our parents did not have anything. They just educated us. We have nothing to fight about. We didn't inherit anything from them. So, nothing. So when you see a reality of a relationship, it cannot touch you anymore. Similarly, when you have known the reality of this world, what is the reality? That it goes on changing. Nothing lasts forever. Phalam ashashvatam. Whatever you may get, it is temporary, it is never permanent. See, there are some statistics in US lottery, isn't it so? People win millions every year in a lottery, and they have studied these people who have got this lottery prize, 10 people or 50 people who have got all these lottery people who won millions. How is their life after 10 years? They are bankrupt. Total, worse than before. Worse than before. Worse than before. When you cannot understand the reality of the world, you get excited, you make wrong decisions, this, that. Anything can go wrong. The problem is not the wealth. The problem is not money per se. The problem is one's own impressions, attitudes towards it. That is what causes. That is what causes it. Easy thing to say is money, because the person did not have money and the money came and that spoiled. No. Yes, okay, on the surface level, think deeply. Mind was not prepared to receive it. Mind was not prepared to receive it. Person was not in place. So, one, having understood the reality of the world, that it always changes, it's never stable, all of it, my view towards it totally changes. I'm no more emotionally dependent on the world. I'm no more I'm dependent on the world for the sake of my happiness. Then what to do with the world? There is a life you have to undergo. You need food, clothing, shelter. You need few things to make your life better, comfortable. Then you depend on the world for only those. Then where can I find happiness? You find happiness here, in your own Svarupa. Where do you find consistency, constancy? Not in the world, but in your own true nature, in yourself. Where can I find stability? In stable relationships, stable job, stable income? Try basing. Try basing. You'll always be insecure. You'll always be insecure. Because it's always going up and down, up and down. Advent of AI. Now everyone is now taken back. Okay, what will happen now? What will happen? So many things are destabilized already. Before coming, I was talking to one of the person in Bangalore. She was working as a back-end customer care support in Bangalore, and she said her job role is already being replaced in the Mumbai branch by AI assistant. No need of a physical person to take calls and answer queries. An AI assistant is already doing it. So, if you base your whole life on a job, be stable. If you base whole your life on a relationship, anything can go wrong. Not that necessarily the person has to cheat and leave you. in natural course of life, somebody has to go first. Either husband or wife, somebody has to go first. So, as long as you totally base your security, happiness on the world, in the world, you can never be secure, you can never be happy. So, Maharshi is suggesting what? He's suggesting the mano vinasha, meaning putting an end to all these wrong impressions, that it doesn't come back again. Mritam no bhavati punaha. That mind, those impressions which are dead, mritam, which are dead, will never come back again. It's like roasting a seed. Roasting the seed. Roasting the seed meaning what? Destruction of the seed? Do you destroy the seed in the sense? Do you turn it into ashes? No. You have just roasted. Just roasted. Even if you put it in the ground, even if you water it, even if you supply sunlight, right humidity, right temperature, all of it, that seed is never going to sprout. Swamiji, can I chant some mantras for it to sprout? No, it won't sprout. So that is the vinasha. Roasting our impressions. Roasting our impressions. Having roasted all of it, how? In the light of knowledge, in the light of reality. Reality about the world, in reality of the self. Having done that, it doesn't again come out. It doesn't again come out. There's end to this asura, wrong impressions, end of this ignorance. So this is what is depicted in so many of our Puranic stories of killing of an asura, destruction of a demon. In fact, it's not that some physical demon is sitting there. It's end of these impressions. Puranic stories are highly symbolic. You cannot literally understand. If you try to literally understand it, of course they don't make any sense. That's why your young kids ask, how is it, Mama? How is it possible? There, with lot of hidden meaning, all these beautiful stories are there to teach us something, not to hold on to the story. To teach something to us. So this is what Maharshi is telling in this verse. Let us repeat the verse. Laya vinashane ubhayarodhane layagatam punar bhavati no mritam. That mind which is temporarily resolved by the control of breath will come back. Remember the coffee and samadhi story. That mind comes back. But that mind which has been sublated in the light of knowledge, it is never going to come back. Once it is mritam, once it is sublated, it is never going to come out. That is the essence of this particular verse. We'll discuss more in the next class. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om